Okay. I'm talking too fast. Okay. This is a new chapter, okay? Keep that in mind. This is a new chapter. Do not change how you was in that old chapter. And I'm speaking of your differentness. You guys are gonna be positioned in areas where you gonna think that you have to fit in with everybody else, okay? And how they dress and how they speak and how they come across, you know. And the Most High do not want you to do that, okay? This is specifically related to what I was talking about when the live was messing up and all this stuff back there. The Most High do not want you to change yourself. You thought people back over here, right, was humbling you, trying to humble you, right, into submission and how they want to see you and how they want you to be as. Folks you're going to be tested again with that very thing. Folks is going to be trying to get you to fit in. We are not the ones to fit in. We are outcasts for life. Hey, I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean it in a good way. The Most High wants you to be different. He wants you to be pointing out like, oh yeah, she right here. Yeah, he right here. Duh. Who can't see that? The Most High do not want you to change how you are. I'm talking about for everything about you is good. Okay? Because in certain areas where the Most High is going to shift you at, you know, you're going to feel as though, is this appropriate? And that's not even you. You don't look for validation. You don't look for acceptance. You are an outcast, you know, for a reason. The Most High wanted you to be your own force. He wanted you to break the usual, because it shouldn't be a usual. It shouldn't be a normal. It's who you are. How can you put a normal to somebody of who they are? Of course I'm not going to look like you. Of course I'm not going to talk like you. Of course my mannerisms and whatever that brings up me is me. I'm not trying to change that for nobody. So if it's unpleasable to you, let me know. Because I can always move around. But the Most High was letting you know that they need you in these areas. The areas that you're about to be called to, they need you. You know, so they're going to override that. But they're going to be looking because it's different. Nobody ever showed up like you, you know. And that's why the Most High chose you. Because you are comfortable with your skin. You know, like you're not going to feel at a place like, oh my gosh, I got to go home. Because, you know, I shouldn't have came out like this. I got to work on my speech. I got to, you know, if they ask me this, then I have to make sure that I get that line. You don't give a dang if you start stuttering and then one moment, you don't give a dang. That's not something that's going to ruin your day. That's beautiful to you. You know, you just had a download. That's something you taking in as it being beautiful. But for other people, they look at it as, you know, they got a speech impediment. Like they got some type of a disorder or something going on with you. You don't look at stuff like that. You know, that's not something that you would like run off stage if something was to happen to you and you was on stage and, you know, you had some type of stutter or just for a second. We go right on with the program. They would take it as something at first. They will take it as if they want to criticize you, but once they start getting to know you, they're like, oh my God, I love this person. It's different. It's you know, you ease the whole atmosphere with your flaws, because so many people are so uppity and it's a way that, you know, they were all programmed to be, and you come to erupt it like it's okay, you stuttered, okay, your hair may be off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may come just purposely. You may come and your hair is, you know, not messy, but it's like it got some flaws. Like, man, did you miss the swoop? You were supposed to swoop it. And you came there to let them know that it's okay. Chill. People love flaws. It makes them feel at ease. You know, and you sit there maybe to take the pressure off of people. Like, because I'm telling you, y'all gonna get sent to places where you're gonna be like, dang, why is everybody so tight? Like, it's okay. Okay? Is that what we gonna, yeah, keep it organic. You know, and the Most High gonna tell you, man, don't come up in there changing yourself. Because this is what's going to make a revolution, just you coming up in here being you. Folks gonna go home and they gonna second guess their whole entire life. Like, what was I doing? Like, why was I doing this fake bull crap that I was doing? And I didn't have to do that. I need to accept myself for who I am, because somebody may be looking for this. Yeah, be panicking. I'm telling y'all, I had went and actually had jobs where I had went to the bathroom, folks was crying because they messed up on some type of showcase something in front of some executive folks or whatever. You know, and she was like, I studied and I did this and I did that, you know, and was literally crying, like almost had a panic. I'm like, I don't know how the Most High had let me cross paths with this lady, but I had so much to say. I was talking to her till she was like blue in her face, because I was letting her know that these folks may like what you did. That very era that you felt was your downfall may be the reason why they gonna choose you. And she was just going crazy because she messed up. And who said that it's a mess up? Who created a mess up of being just because you didn't say it how you practice? Maybe that wasn't what you supposed to say. Do y'all know I never practiced? I don't think I ever practiced a day in my life. I showed up. That's it. Because at first, it took me some time to even show up. I'm going to keep it real. And when I showed up, I performed. I performed because it's better that way. It's better when you're genuine and you just in that state of mind of you just flowing. I'm talking about like naturally. That's the best performance. Folks is so out of their body to where they feel as though that, man, I need to practice, I need to do this, I need to do that. Don't. Of course, have the common denominator, what you gonna do, of course, narrow it down, but perform. It's already in you. It's either they gonna like you or they not. It's either they gonna mess with you or they're not. Those are the only two. And this is why the Most High got us around to mess up the program. He always put us in areas to mess it up so people can be like, I didn't have to do that. Oh, I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for us and according to what the Most High had created, this world would be in shackles. Folks would really think they're supposed to be bots, that they got to be robots. Like they have to be trained for something. When you already it. They looking for the original you. What are you up here trying to follow a script? That ain't even you. So what, you following the script every day? That's a horrible life, ma'am, sir. You following a script, a meter every day. Like you a weathercast person or something. And you just following, okay, what do I say next? What do I say next? And you got all this inside of you that folks is even looking for. And it eased them. He's like, man, what's real? So I could be real. And here you come marching in the door. Is anybody home? I was sitting here. My name is. We coming in. I'm about to let y'all know y'all can take y'all wigs off. Y'all can go ahead and take that mask off. We want to actually see your beautiful face. The real one. Without the filter. No filters added. Folks think they got to add filters and all type of stuff. We don't care about that. We don't care about none of that. Toupees, yeah. Take the toupees off. Take the fake teeth off. You know, if you got to put on a little, what you call them little, because you can't see. So you can't use glasses, but you got to use one of your eye patches because, you know, you ain't, you know, your eyes is not, you know, you actually can't see out of two eyes, but you were playing it off that you could see and you needed an eye patch. Put your eye patch on. Who cares? You know how many people was waiting for somebody to put on an eye patch so they could put theirs on? We don't care. Who cares? Like, I mean, oh my gosh. Folks is waiting on y'all to go in there so they can see real. Oh, she's not wearing nothing and hiding. No, sure not, and don't care too. Want people to look. Where you want me to sit at the front? I'll sit on the stage all day. Folks will look at it so it can program them to get out of that fake stuff. I'm telling you, my job just to sit at the stage so people can stare. I do it. So they can be like, man, come as your original self. Accept yourself. Because that's the first thing. And that's what people respect. All this robotic and all this typical and all this, everybody look like this. This is the problem. Got little kids doing that too. They offing themselves, little kids, because they feel as though they out of the norm. Like, oh, I look different, so something must be wrong with me. You look different because you're supposed to. You're not supposed to look like that. And they don't even look like that. If you seen them on they just surprise them, just don't even tell them that you coming over. You know what I'm saying? Just knock on that dang door and you don't know who opened the door. You like, who is this? Who is this? You don't look like who you was when I seen you up there in the office. Who is you? You scare me. Is this really you? This is how off they be of themselves. You can't even, you don't really know who this is. Actually, have y'all seen Down to Earth? Have y'all seen Down to Earth with Eddie Murphy? And his assistant, he had his whole little, Irish accent, and he was dressing up in all this, like these suits and stuff. And then once he had knocked on his door, to visit him, he didn't know who that man was. That man, he had changed his accent. He had on some regular down-to-earth, clothes on. And he was watching the game. He had like a little small studio apartment or whatever. And he was like, whoa, you would change. Who is you? He was like, oh, well, he tried to play it off and try to go back to the accent. He said, stop with the accent. You don't have to talk like that. Who told you had to talk like that? Who told you had to maneuver that way to get the job? He said, man, if you would have been yourself, you probably would have had no problem of getting a job, and you could be yourself. Meaning you didn't have to even hide yourself. You can have a job that you wanted, and you could be yourself. My God. These folks, I'm telling you. That's why some folks don't even want you around, because they had to play a part. And they so caught up into it until you break it. This is what we're here to do. We need to show people that, hey, the Most High, he said, you are wonderfully made how you are. Everything. That comparing, that's what's breaking little kids today. They compare it to the next fake person. And it's making them feel a certain way because they want to be original. They want to be themselves because they want to be real. It was like, I just seen a testimony of a lady. She said her daughter ain't here no more because she was so influenced from other influencers. And she felt as though she wasn't good enough based off of what she's seen on social media. And she thought that's how she was supposed to look, because that's the ideal of how they got them thinking like that's how you're supposed to be. Like that's the status. If you're not like that, you might want to go figure out yourself. Ma'am, sir, this is where we come in. And we go in there, we look, hey, we need to go up in here. And we walk around. We think we got like a big old purpose, but we here to walk around so folks can see. Like, what's she doing up here like that? What he doing up here like that? Because we like that. This is how it's supposed to be. This ain't got nothing to do with my work ethic. This ain't got nothing to do with my talent. I bet you they can't out-talent you. I bet you they can't outwork you. I bet you that when it is pushed to shove, the boss or whoever, that's the executive, they're going to be calling you to the office because they're going to need you. But the Most High is going to need you to be you there. They need to see. They need to see you, and you're needed. You're needed, and they need to see you. They need to see the real. They need to see, folks in this world need to see the real. This is why the Most High chose you, because you just, something about you, you are very unique. You're very different. And folks need to see that, because they are too, but they hiding it to be a robot. They thinking like, this is going to get me far though, if I, trans and ship myself into being this ordeal. This is going to get me far. But that's not. And then they see you, they like, man, it's like you don't even have to try, because I am real. You don't even have to try when you're original. You doing all that. I'm telling you guys, they do so much behind the scenes when they don't have to. And they be mad at you. Like you're egotistic. How are you going to call somebody prideful and egotistic because they know the code? They know how to break the code is to beat you. The whole breaking codes, it is you. In order for you to go in, they need actually you. They don't need no robot. Who is that? They can't identify that. Folks I'm telling you guys, you see them every day. You be like, man, I know they ain't them. I know they ain't them, but they ain't gonna never show me them. Because they scared. They scared. But us, we not scared. It's either you like it or you don't. You don't even have to even look this way, ma'am, sir. You don't. Nobody said that you have to appreciate this. You don't. And this is why they're trying to figure out what's going on with us when you don't care about certain things that you are programmed, to be as. Where are you getting this from? Because you're not getting this from, this matrix, because they program you of a look, how to speak, how to represent yourself, how to go about everything. So where are you getting this from? Why are you so off? And you okay with it? And it's like it doesn't bother you. Like you don't get uncomfortable. When it's like this is what it is and you like this. How is it that you don't get, once again, uncomfortable? This is what they studying you about. Because you're literally breaking the code that they don't want. Okay? They don't want folks to be, okay with themselves and how they was created. They don't want that. And when they see you walking around, people are gonna start waking up. And this is why they keep an eye on us. This is why the monitoring. This is why the stalking is, because they know that, hey, you might end up, turning this whole programming on a whole nother relief because of you. All it takes is one. All somebody got to do is sit there and watch you and see you, even though you're in the same, you're in the same area, wherever you at. They like, but what you doing? Because if I don't have to do this, I'm not going to do this. And then the next day, you see everybody maneuvering like you. It only took you one day to go walk in there and do it. And you changed up the whole atmosphere in one day. Now everybody got a problem with you. They calling you in the office trying to pick bones with you. But you already made your mission. You already had settled the deal. You made your presence of what it should be like. Folks should be able to be themselves. Folks should be able to walk accordingly to their own skin. You shouldn't be making human beings bots. That's not what it was orchestrated to be. They were supposed to be as they please. Now everybody want to get an attitude with you. Who you think you is? There we go. There goes that saying. Who do you think you is? You ain't nobody. Who said I was somebody? It seems as though you feel like I'm somebody. All I did was walk in here. That's it. If folks decided to take a new relief, that's them. That's their prerogative. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Why you think they try to hide us? Because just by us being seen, it makes a difference. That's why they do their best to hide and to try to block and try to do this and try to do that. We're going to be seen regardless. It don't matter. We ain't going nowhere. It's up to the Most High. It's not up to y'all. Things got to change down here. You know, they try to control. It's a controlling thing. You know, if folks is tired of being controlled, they want to finally get freedom. Freedom to be themselves. But you here to tell them that in order to do that, you gotta not give up. You gotta not give. 2. You care too much about what he say, she say, what she think, he think. Who cares? It's you or you, regardless. Don't matter. What you gonna do? You gonna call me in the office to try to explain myself or who I am? We gonna take this to IRS. Not IRS. We gonna take this to HR. So that, you know, we could get in a group of me explaining of I got called in the office because I'm myself. Hold on, you guys. They gonna I gotta do a puzzle. Yeah. I never give a dang. They really override me because I wasn't giving up on who I was. I was just not going to change. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to make them feel comfortable because I wanted to be myself. That was a given. That's not something that I'm going to sacrifice, ma'am, sir, for the sake of somebody else to make them feel comfortable because you're not comfortable in your skin. That's not my problem. So they always had a problem with you because you were just too comfortable with you. Yeah. You know, they look at the wrong thing. You're not supposed to even be trying to put a category of how a person coming to, you know, what they're there for. You know, they want everybody to look. I'm telling you, this is why a lot of children, let's go back to it, because this is a problem. How these children are they don't want to be here no more. Because they can't be themselves. You know, they looked at as being weird because they look different. You know, they're not showing up as the next one. Not knowing that they were chosen. These are these chosen kids that don't want to be here. Because they really don't want to fit in. They want to do they want to do their thing. But they're not getting the admiration of doing that. They're not getting the applause. They're not getting the clap. They're not getting the, hey, yeah, you go ahead, you do your thing, girl. They're not getting that. They're getting like, you know, something wrong with you. Like laughing at, pointing at. You know, folks is trying to bully them. You know, like us. They try to do the same thing with us. Oh, she weird. Oh, he weird. Look at him. He up there doing that. Look at, you know, but me, I stood 10 toes. You know, with mine, I was like, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. An advocate for me. You know, I was like my biggest advocate. Because people always got something to say. You know, and try to question. You know, something that shouldn't have been questioned. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, someone said that Jamaican in the house. Yeah. Hey. A lot of rules is coming to them like the Pharisees try to control us. Yeah. Really. Really, it's a big control. It's a look. It's a persona that they were programmed to. And they see you. They like, you gonna be a problem. Because we don't go like that. And we don't do that. And we don't. Who said that I gotta do that? If that's what you want to do, so be it. But you're not about to try to bully or try to discourage me from being me. It's just not going to happen. But I'm telling you, but a lot of people, they don't have that backbone. Because it's too much. It's so much crushing. And some people get tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I got to keep explaining myself everywhere I go? If it's not with, you know, my family, it's with other folks. And it's with other folks. And it's just like, why can't folks just be who they is? Why is it so hard for people to understand that? Everybody not the same. Especially, you know, you guys just could imagine what they did to Christ. You know, they actually tried to kick him out of the churches. This man flipped the table over and left because they were trying to get him to be a certain way. How they are accustomed to a pastor or somebody, a prophet or whatever that he was stating to be. They were trying to get him to be as how they're used to it be. He was like, no, that's not who I am. And if you guys are just going about it through looks and persona, you guys, no wonder why it's a lot of false hypocrites up in here. Because anybody could play that part. If y'all going based off a persona and a look, who can't dress up and who can't go into character as it being so? They not looking for the originals and the real. They looking for somebody who could play the part. This is what this whole Matrix fake world is made out of down here. That's why we're here to break it. You know, like Eminem said. He said, "Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?" This man was really, oh my gosh, if you guys really go back to Eminem and a lot of his songs, he is so poetic. You know, this man is so, I'm telling you, when I was younger, I literally used to listen to his songs. Not because of, in a way of, folks be dancing and all this. No, he talks about real stuff. He talks about real stuff, y'all. I'm talking about folks, the stuff that he had a problem with when he was up there in Hollywood. How he had a problem with being himself, and they tried to make him into something that he wasn't. He got mad because he in the video with the, when he was talking about the real Slim Shady, it was so many different clones of him. He was like, where's the real one? Why I can't be the real? Why is the real one not enough? Why you gotta make me out to be something that, you feel is oh, this is good right here, but the real one's in the back. Well, I'm talking about the one that everybody want to see is in the back. This is what they do. This is what we're here to do. We're here to break all this. It's stupidity, and enough is enough. We're here to be, and they try to hide. They try to hide you because they don't want people to see that, because they know that people gonna want to do that. They gonna want to take down their wig, and they gonna want to get off of the doctor's bed of getting all these surgeries, these BBLs and these LPBs and these LCCs. You know what I'm saying? And all these dumb veneers where you can't even talk and you biting on because your teeth is too big. Because you felt that just because you got like a gap in your teeth, you can't rock a gap, or you can't have some type of flaw with your teeth. Who the fuck? Ooh, who cares? I had to calm down. But people be scared because they be having like little impediments with their teeth, and I know it's so dope. To have a gap or to have like some extra tooth or something. I feel like that is so dope. Or some people got, some folks who got lazy eyes, or, got something going on with them that's a flaw. I feel like that is so dope. They should embrace it. You different. You unique. Y'all should, man, like, why y'all trying to change yourselves? Like, it's weird. Oh, I'm a little bit fat. I got a little bit more cushion over here, a little bit. Man, this thing is crazy. Some lady said something was going on with her knee. She tried to say, I don't know, she need to go to the, to go get surgery on her knees. I mean, this is wild. This is crazy. And here we go. All type of flaws. Like, we flawed up. Like, ain't nothing is perfect. Everything is just like, And we okay. We like, yes. We want to see that. I'm talking about back in the times where our ancestors, when he was like, you are who you are. It wasn't even no weaves. It was like nothing it was no doctors that could change you or none of that stuff. You had to literally rock out for exactly who you was. And everybody was okay with it. It was normal. It wasn't like you wasn't coming home and your kids talking about they got bullied because they look different. Or they talk different. They look different. They made up of something that look more different. This is crazy. This is where we come in at. If you ever wanted to know your position, you are the realest. You got to continue on walking around being your realest self. Do not change. Don't become the program, bots that they try to put into the machine and they got you out here looking crazy. That ain't good. Yeah, everybody want to be somebody else. It's like, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. What? What are you talking about? And then they'll spend money. I'm talking about like over $15,000 to get this stuff done. And they look crazy afterwards. It's like, you should have never done that. You should have stayed how you was. You look crazy. You look crazy. I don't know why you thought that you would spend all that money when you could have been enjoying yourself and how you are, how you was made. Trying to be, and then it's crazy because your kids is looking at you while you doing this. So you got them thinking like, oh yeah, I got to do that too. And if I can't do that, then, they'll be ready to take their own self out. It's sad. It's a sad topic, man. It's really bad. It's like, man, flaws is the best. And when I be seeing folks and I go past, folks who be having some of these flaws, we get to talking because it's dope to run across somebody who's confident in their flaws. They be like, yeah, they be so confident. Some like when we run across people like us, we be sitting up there just out in the, just enjoying the flaws and all. Like, and it is okay. I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made. Period. I'm not doing nothing at it. I'm not doing none of that unless, we like to create. I'm like a cartoon artist. So sometimes I like to create an image of me as a cartoon, but that's me. You know what I'm saying? All I'm doing is being me. I like to do that. So I'll draw myself as a cartoon, and then sometimes I'll remodel myself as that drawing that I had created according to me. Yeah. Kids, it's okay. Let them know it's okay to be creative. Long as you got some you dressing, covering your behind. Okay? We don't want to walk around and you ain't got no clothes on. Okay? That ain't cool. I don't know who y'all looking at, but that's not cool. You don't go do that. Okay? Keep your clothes on. Keep the stuff covered. Okay? But as far as being creative, let the creativity sing. Keep being creative. This is what we here to do. Folks looking at you like, oh my gosh, I could be creative too. Please do. We tired of seeing this crazy stuff in this matrix system. We tired of seeing this crap. This is what we here to break. Get into creativity mode of you. And if you don't, we are so happy to see you as just being you. Your original self. You. Not the fake mask on, persona on. We comfortable. I used to tell all my friends back in the day, we comfortable. And that was like basically my signal to let them know that this is no fake stuff. When I say we comfortable, that means we us. Letting them know. Because me, I would hit the exit. When I start seeing folks around me all fake and stuff, I'm ready to go. Because now you taking me out of who I am. And I'm not a candidate for that. You don't have to do that. People appreciate you for you. In this function, we got to act like this. Or in this. No, man. No. Our jobs is to be a better us. Yeah. Be a better us, but be you though. This is the code that we here to break. The Most High created you perfectly. I'm talking about your personality. I'm talking about your looks. I'm talking about your intelligence. Even your flaws. Your flaws is your biggest, contribution of yourself. Your flaws. Don't downplay your flaws. That will be your best appreciation. is your flaws. You help others get over theirs. They feel as though it's a problem, but when you come around and you embrace yours, it make people want to embrace theirs. It was I used to watch America's Top Model, and it used to be this dark skinned lady. I mean, this was back in like 2000. And it was like this dark, like, this is when, they were like, they weren't checking for like dark skin, ladies or whatever. And she holding her ground so well on there. I think she won. Yeah, she was. She had a gap in her teeth, and she talked like she from Louisiana. She talked like, hey, what everybody doing? She talked like that. And she from Louisiana. She very country, and she had a gap, and she was very dark skinned, and she won. And that was the time where they were so into like certain looks and, certain skin tones and all this and like that. She hands down. Like, I was like, oh, that's when I had started getting into the show. Because I was like, this ain't no show that I would watch. This is corny, But then when I seen her, she was like, hey, my name is, and I'm from Louisiana. And then she started smiling. I seen the gap. And I seen how, she so confident. Walked in there as if she won. Folks was amazed because they trying to figure out how she, she came in there. Everybody was like, what? Like, you cool? And she was like, my name is, I'm from Louisiana. And she had the gap. I was like, oh, hands down. Like, she's dope. Period. And this is us though. Like, this is when I was a child. This is when I was like, I watched that. That was back in 2000s, I believe. I was about like 14 or 15. 16 or whatever, and people looking for that. They looking for something that's way off, and this is where we come in. I gotta tell y'all, cause y'all we in a new season, and the Most High is about to start shifting us off to these areas, and you got to be confident in yourself, ma'am, sir. Please don't go in there and change yourself and act like you don't know who you is. I'm talking about you as a whole. Don't change nothing. Folks need that. They need to see that. Think about me. I'm 16 years old. I'm watching this. I'm like, all I see is a bunch of different, like, Irish and Caucasian, folks that you would normally see on there, right? All of a sudden, I see a lady from Louisiana, dark skinned with a gap. And I'm like, that's what had opened the door for everybody to come in that looked like her. Everybody start coming in and start joining, the show. Because she opened the door for people that look like her. Everybody else was scared. Like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. She walked in there. All of a sudden, all seasons, it was like, you see all types. This is what we do. This is what we do. We open doors for folks that thought that it was just some type of a look. You got to be this. You got to do that in order for do that. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to look like or have none of that. You can walk clean in there and represent yourself for who you are. Period. Period. All you need is who you is. That's it. If that's what you was called to do, what's stopping you? But it's that persona of, well, ain't nobody doing it like that look like me. Yeah, I don't see nobody that ever did it like me. That look like me? Nah, they ain't did. That's not something that we do. But you was called to do that, ma'am, sir. What is you doing? You got to get there and represent yourself. You don't need no help in representing yourself. Yeah, you said people, they talk one way with their friends and another around other people. Yeah, they choose to. Yeah, exactly. That's what I had said. When I tell people, when I was around a group of people, I said, we comfortable. I used to use that saying, we comfortable, meaning to remind people that we are comfortable in our own skin. We don't need to, you ain't got to play a different character when you're around different people because you feel like they're going to relate to you. You either relate to me or you don't. You ain't got to talk the same as somebody else to relate to them. You don't. You ain't even got to look the same as somebody else to relate to them. I don't know how other people was taught, but you don't have to do that. You don't even have to look the same as somebody else to relate to them. You don't. Because the people that you may even look similar to, you don't even relate to. Let's keep it real. So when I was around a group of people, and I stated it, that, hey, man, we comfortable. And I still had people, that told me that, hey, so-and-so doing this and so-and-so doing that. I said, nah, so-and-so, that's not even them. They were like, oh, you must don't know them. And when I had done, some digging, because I need to know who around me. You're not about to just, be different characters and act like, you some type of a way around me, and you're around me, and then that's not you. That's a problem to me. So I did some digging, and I found out that this person got like 15 different personality disorders, and it was a lot of people. They literally just transmuted themselves into whoever that they was with. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would change based off the person that they was with. And I felt like that is so creepy. That is so weird. And it was a lot of people from my past that was doing that. Like, they wasn't keeping it real with themselves. Like they had problems of, loving themselves, of them being enough. You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew yourself for being enough, you won't change for nobody. But they was behind my back, changing. I'm talking about like a totally different person. Out in these streets, like totally different. Like you couldn't even tell that it was them. And I was trying to figure out, why do you have to do that? Like, why you can't be just comfortable with your own self that, hey, I'm enough. So if you don't dislike me, then that's fine. And if you love me, that's fine. But I'm not changing. Like, I'm telling you, like I told folks, I said, you could actually go to everybody that I know or who know of me. They will tell you the same thing about me that you would say about me. That's how much it's the same. It's the same. Like, oh, I'm talking about across the board. They're gonna tell you the same thing that you say. I bet you. And if a person, and I'm telling you, if you don't get that from somebody else, as if they telling you different things across the board according to a person, you gotta kind of be leery about that. Like, why is everybody saying many and different characters according to you? Like, nobody's saying the same thing. Like, that should be like a telltale sign that this person, I don't know if you would want to be around a person that got all them personality disorders, where they're not specific about who they is. I'll be leery about it, Yeah, double-minded. Yeah, the Bible talks about double-minded people, unstable people, where they just don't know. They'll swing wherever they're whoever that they with, they'll be. Like, if they'll be in the world, they'll be worldly. If they be in the churches, they'll be a Christian. It's just like, it's so much hypocrites, and it's just crazy. And if you don't even have to be a Christian to be in churches, but like I said, you could be, the Most High this and the Most High that, and speaking of all these scriptures and all this stuff, and then once you get in the streets, you'll be just a street person doing whatever in the streets. And they'll feel like it's okay. So, but they learn this from this matrix system. This program system say you could do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. You could be whatever you want to be in any second of the day. This is what they teach. And this is what, a lot of folks are programmed to, based off the system, how they got it. This is where we come in. Once again, this is where we come in and break the illusion of you don't have to do that. Because what you're trying to do is fit in. This is what it all comes down to. The folks trying to fit in. If I do this, I fit in. If I do that, I fit in. They don't want to do it, but they just feel as though if they, transform themselves into something of what it is, it'll be easy for them down here. We don't do none of that. We don't do none of that. We don't fit in nothing. Trying to get praise from men. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get man's a validation. What I was speaking of. And this is the problem that we have. You know, and this is what we come in at. And this is why they try to hide us. That's what I'm saying. This is why we got to show up, you know, when we don't even want to show up. We have to. You know, even when we get these trials and tribulations and we get all this hell, we still got to show up. Because we're breaking that. We're breaking that illusion. Because folks is going to tap into what we giving, even when we ain't saying nothing. They're going to be like, hold up. This is different. This is something that I actually wanted to do and to go about it. I didn't even know that we could do this. This is why they do their best to try to, you know, they really try to block. They really try to get us behind the scenes. And that's not going to work. We always end up going to the forefront so that folks can be free. So folks can be free. Everybody, that's all folks want, is to be free. They don't want to be bound to nothing. You know, they don't want to be in cages and have some restrictions of, you know, who the Creator had created. This is why we here. This is why they don't like us. But like I say, it's not a big deal. If you don't like, if you dislike, if you like, it's really not a big deal to us. You know, the show must go on. You know, things still have to be seen and still have to be regulated so that folks can be free. On some Harriet Tubman type of stuff, may I say. You know, most I say, let my people go. We be thinking in one aspect. No, people in shackles in many aspects. They want to be free. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. They want to be free. People's in shackles in all categories. They like, man, I can't say nothing. I have to trap my thoughts in because I can't speak on that. I can't look a certain way, so I gotta engage the way I feel. I can't express myself. I can't go. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, the mind, body, spirit, and soul, it's all trapped in all degrees. Once they came down there, their mind was trapped. They soul, some people's souls ain't even free. Their spirit ain't free. Their whole self-being ain't free. Nothing is free. They feel as though everything is bound. And they walking around here like a robot, like really about to break. You know, like, I can't take this no more. That's why you see a lot of people, they losing it. They losing their mind. They like, I can't go another day doing this bull crap. You know, and then here we come. Ma'am, sir, you gonna have to get up out of that. Come out. Come out of that. It's okay. It's okay. All you gotta do is just come out. That's it. You know, that's it. That's how simple it is. You gonna have to just, you got to make the move to break it. You gotta come out. Because you can't speak. Yes, you can speak about whatever that you want to speak about. Put it out there. Expose it. Get it out there. Dress. Wherever you feel the dress is set, it can't be provocative. But however that you feel, you know, that the Most High gave you this creativity to go about it. Express yourself. It's okay. You know, break out of that. You know, because we had to. That's how we set ourselves free. We had to break out of that. And we had to not give a damn about it. Because we knew we was going to catch some type of hate and some type of somebody trying to downplay of who he is. But we had to not give a damn. You either accept me or you don't. Yeah, that's the same thing Christ had to do. You know, he was like, man, if y'all don't respect me as being my father, the Most High, his son, that's on y'all. Because they was trying to tell him that he wasn't. He was like, you don't look like it. You don't move like it. You know, you don't have, you know, the material things and the possessions as you are, you know. They was like really calling him like they really told him he was a demon. The Pharisees, them church people, really was bashing him and really tried to crucify him as being somebody that's dark. Like somebody that's really dark and evil. You know? And he had to represent 10 toes as being, you know, the son of the living God. Like, could you imagine everybody telling you you're not because of this and because of that, and you telling them and you representing 10 toes of who you is? Same thing we got to do. Same stuff that we do every day. They trying to take us out of who we are, and we still 10 toes to the day. And they trying to figure out why you ain't really, you know, gave up, or why didn't you, you know, fall under of what they tried to do through smear campaigns. You can't change who you is. They think this is like, you know, some type of game or something. This is who a person is. You can't run no type of experiment and try to take someone out of who they is when all they know is who they are. All they're going to represent is who they are. Period. They try to run experiments on you, you know. They try to get you to disbelieve of who you is. Oh, well, if that experiment affected you, you're not who you say you are. See, look at them. That's not Christ-like of them. Who said that we were like trying to be Christ? That's not what we represent. Christ is himself. I'm not walking around here with that name. I'm myself. What do you not get? Like, is it hard at comprehending of who you looking at? So we got to stand 10 toes on who he is. Down here. Because they trying to move you off of who you is. Apparently. But they're going to learn. They learning now. Like, you're not shaken. You're not moved by what they will be moved by. Or what the, you know, hopefully folks are not out here being moved by, you know, being you. But, you know, they will test you on that. You will be tested on to see if you're going to get out of you. If you're going to get out of your identity. That what makes up you. My God.